Very good, excellent. Okay, welcome back. So throughout the days, since yesterday, I've been talking to you about extending an invitation to you. It is a time now for me to do that. So let's get started. All right. Up. Oh shoot, what am I doing? Oh, it's still recording? Okay, do you see my slide there? You recording? Because I clicked on. All right. The moment you have been waiting for is here. Are you seeing the subtitle? Well, I see subtitle. Do you see subtitle also? Maybe I seen it. It's good if they see the subtitle. We're adjusting the tech here for a second. Give us a second before we get started. Hey, do you guys see the subtitles? Do you see the subtitles? I can hear you, Mona. It's
kind of small for me
small.
at least.
Can you make that a little bigger? Try to make the screen bigger because the subtitles are small, apparently. You know what to make it bigger? Or maybe there. Can I make it a little bigger?
Is that better for them?
No, I need to see the next slide. If it's smaller, that's fine, but we need to. Display setting. All right. So make sure you're recording, make sure let's check what you see on the screen there.
Looks better, Basil.
Great, thank you. You can see well?
Yes, definitely.
You see the whole screen, the whole page, whole screen? Very good, excellent.
Yes.
All right, excellent. Well, welcome to our exclusive invitation that I'm about to share with you. Very good. As you well know now, my name is Basil Lemba, and I'm in the business of networking. Housekeeping, same as everything we covered already, so that does not change. These are the 3 continents I live on at least 10 years on each one of them. Starting in Africa, I left when I was 14. I went to France, lived there for 10 years, and moved to the United States where I've been ever since. I like showing these 3 continents because they have everything to do with what we're doing today. In the sense that I drew out of all those 3 continents to put together the materials that we have been sharing with you. In Africa, I learned about solidarity, coming together. I believe the reason that continent survived with all the challenges and everything is because people come together. And then I went to France, lived there for 10 years, and I studied architecture. So I get to study the culture in Europe, also the subject of architecture. You say construction. By that I mean building something that lasts.
Start.
Hold on, we're having a tech issue over here. Give me 1 minute, please. Okay, well, now we're back in business. Welcome to our exclusive invitations. I'm acting like Mona the dancer. You know what I'm saying? Very good. All right. So yes, my name is Basil Limba, and I would like to share some information with you. Housekeeping, we covered that, take care of distraction, pen papers. And then here is where we were at. So I said then I lived on 3 different continents, spending at least 10 years on each and every one of them. The reason I show this is because the materials that we discuss was taken out of all those 3 continents. The true advantage of that is that one of the major advantages that makes it universal. Meaning it's not just something for Africa or Europe or America or anywhere else. It's really universal in that sense. I live in Africa and I left when I was 15. In there, I learned about solidarity, people coming together. That's the culture there. And as I believe that the reason it survives is because people come together. In Europe, I study architecture. the culture in Europe. And when I say architecture, by that I mean build construction. On the other sense, building something that lasts. Live there for 10 years and then move to the United States where I learned about organizations in the main. So then the culture in Africa, the construction in Europe, and then organization in America. So all that help us put together what we're discussing here today. Here's a picture of myself the day I was living in Africa. Take a look at it, Elsa. It was, I'm just kidding. It was September 1981.
Send it to me and I'll correct the color for you.
Okay, very good. And then you see me there in one of the pictures in Paris. And there you see a picture of myself at my very early networking event. So this thing called networking event, I'm not lying when I say I started a long time ago. If you see that picture, I'd like to bring your attention to the fact that my badge is on the left side. That's not where it's supposed to be. Well, I didn't know at the time. It's supposed to be on the right side. So as you can see, we've made some progress. And this is the only picture that I have when I was studying architecture. Today, people have pictures of pretty much their whole life. That's the only one that I have where I'm sitting at the drawing table. All right. And here is a picture of myself doing coaching sessions way back when. So coaching, again, is something that I've been doing for quite some time. Moving on now, this is in 2001 at Mangiano in Tazan's Corner at the networking event. So after Florida, then I moved up Northern Virginia. So network started then. And you can see here the picture of myself with Tom Davis, one of the senators, used to be the VA senator as well. And then here, a more recent picture with Mr. Hoskins, the CEO of Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. Well, let me take you back a little bit. So I mentioned coming to the United States where I was in Florida. And then after a certain time, I moved up to over here in Virginia. I started a business. I don't know if it was a good idea or bad idea. I wouldn't say, I couldn't tell. But the problem when you start a business is that you gotta promote it and take it to people. But I was new in Virginia. I did not know anyone. So then starting a business was challenging because I have to know people. I then had the idea of joining the Chamber of Commerce. I did go and join the chamber and I started meeting people, which was great. However, there was something I couldn't put my finger on, something. I'll go and come home, but I was not very happy. But I couldn't even tell why I was not happy. One day somebody came to me and said, hey, there's networking luncheon over there. Why don't you go over there? He said, you should go. There will be 150 people there. I really got excited. 150? I'm thinking mentally, 150 people, so that means I can get 30 to 40 business cards. Oh my God. And I asked him, how much? They say $150. Mind you, that was over 17 years ago. And I'm like, $150 for a luncheon? I thought about it and I said, well, you know, if I get one customer too, I can recoup my money. So I went ahead and bought the ticket. So the day of the event, I get into my car, go and park, get my name badge, and walk into the room. The room was jammed packed. You couldn't move. I could see you as I see my screen here. But really, I couldn't even talk to you. A voice came over the PA system saying, have a seat, we're going to serve lunch. So I squeezed what I could. Had a seat. On came the MC and he introduced the speaker. The speaker started speaking to never stop. 2 o'clock came, people started running out of there because they have to go back to work. Maybe that was 20 years ago. And I'm like, wait a minute. 3 minutes later, the room was empty. And I had 3 business cards in my hands. I went, $150, 3 business cards? Heck, with $150, I can print 3,000 business cards these days. And then I had a realization. I went, the thing that was bugging me was the fact that you could go to a networking event and come out, but but you don't network at all, or not properly. Because in fact, $150, I go in, come out with 3 business cards. Then I realized that was the problem. So what I did then, so I went to business people like you. I went, Elsa, when you go to a networking event, what do you want to see happening? I wrote that down. What is that you don't want? I wrote that down.
Well, I want to see people exchanging ideas, exchanging business cards, and learning from one another quickly, and move on. So you can meet as many people as you can without antagonizing anyone.
Right.
You don't want to rush, but you don't want to slow down either.
Very good. Yes. Great. So that's what I went and asked business people. So then I gathered what they wanted. And I created a breakfast event. I started it as a little thing on the side. But it grew so rapidly that it has been going on for 17 years. And here you can see the picture of it. If you can mute, please, that would be good. Mute the sound because we're hearing the bird. So that breakfast event has in it everything that the business people want and none of the things they didn't want. When I started as a little thing on the side. I just wanted people to have a place where they can go and come out and say to themselves, yes, I network. Different from the feeling or what I was experimenting when I go to some of these events. I started it as a little thing on the side because I had my own business, but it grew so rapidly that 2 months into it, it was a full-time activity. And then something has happened. 2 things actually happened at the breakfast event here. As you can see the chair there, the way the chairs are set up, one person talk to one person 1 minute, the other one talk to another one 1 minute, and we move one row to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Generally, we have about 40 to 50 people there. So as a single individual, you get to meet at least 20 people and talk to them in person. So you really get to network. Now, as they are there in the chair, One person in renovation talked to one of them early on and told them everything about them. And the turn of the second person to speak came. That other person, after he explained to him it was renovation, we do kitchen or what have you, mainly that's all they say was, oh, I did my kitchen 3 months ago, and said nothing else for the remaining minutes. The other person got upset. After the breakfast event, they came to me. They said, well, I told him that I do renovation, and he told me he did his kitchen 3 months ago and said nothing else. Then I went, oh my God, they don't know how to network. It was a realization for me. I did not know they didn't know. So then I started putting together networking know-how. In fact, I made a section in the breakfast event that was educational, to educate them, give them the knowledge they need in order to network. Started doing that, I was moving along. In fact, for well over a decade, people coming to the breakfast event was coming to me and telling me, you need to write a book on networking. You need to make a course on networking. And my reaction was, excuse me? Remember, I show you where I came from, Africa and Europe, what have you. I didn't know what people knew or didn't know. And certainly, I was not the one and come and tell them, oh, guys, you don't know how to network. I did not even know. All I knew is, when I went to the bookstore, I saw books wall to wall on networking. When I went to the library, I saw books wall to wall on networking. And look all around, I see networking events. So it never made sense to me. For over a decade, I didn't understand why they was asking for a book. And at the same breakfast event, some 10 years later, we've been doing it, a lady came in. After the breakfast event, she came up to me and looked at me. She was not smiling. And she said, I need to talk to you. Call me this afternoon. I have been doing this for over a decade. I know the movie. At the end, everybody's happy, they're hugging one another, they are excited and everything else. All of them. But it was the first time ever that somebody come to me not smiling. And in addition, tells me I need to call them this afternoon. Seriously, I went to that event at least 20 times in my mind. Did I say the wrong thing? Did I look at her the wrong way? Did I say anything bad about women? What is that could have possibly done that upset that woman? I went through in my mind several times. I couldn't find anything. There was so much pressure that I picked up the phone in the afternoon. I wanted to get this over with. I called her. She was screaming. I have to keep the phone away. And she asked me, do you know how much money I spend in networking? Do you know how much money I spend in networking organization? And for the first time today, I found out what networking is. And I was like, oh. I thought I did something bad. But you have to understand, that woman was a franchise consultant. She sells franchises to people. On one side, she has people who want to buy a franchise, and on the other side, she has the franchisors who sell franchise. So she knows the story. The situation is, the franchisors do not have a problem selling franchise. They can sell them all day long. But the X factor is, can the person who buys the franchise network? That is the unknown. Why do I say that? Because the lady, her name was Kim. After she came to the breakfast event, and after went to that phone call, she had a meeting that she put on at the Restaurant Chamber of Commerce. She invited me to the meeting. I didn't want to go. I said, Kim, I'm not trying to franchise. I don't want to buy a franchise. I'm not a fit for your meeting. She insisted, you got to come, you got to come. And I couldn't understand why I have to go. But because she came to a breakfast event, I obliged. I said, well, I'm coming to the event. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it just, I didn't want him to be disappointed, thinking there is the guy and thinking that I want to buy a franchise because I was not trying to franchise. I wasn't looking at buying any. So I didn't want him to be disappointed to find out, hey, he's not interested. So I did go. They had the meeting. The meeting went well. At the end, I grabbed my bag. I want to go. They say, oh, no, you need to stay. Now I started getting pissed. I didn't show them that I was pissed, but I'm getting pissed. I told you that I'm not. So now I want to stay behind. I know what it is. At the end of the meeting, that's where they randomly try to sell you something. I thought I was convinced they didn't sell me. I'm trying to leave. But I said, no. Stay. Okay, I stayed. They emptied the room. All the people left. The people left in the room were franchisors, people who sell franchise. They moved me into the table and I sat down. They told me this: our problem is not selling franchises. We can sell them all day long. The problem is, can the franchisee, so the franchise holder, network? That was their problem. They have a franchise, so they tested the system. It works. The X factor is the guy who buys. Can he network? Because that's where it breaks down. They were concerned because when somebody buys a franchise and the franchise fails, the general public do not think Joe Schmo fell in the franchise. It is their brand, the name of the franchise that failed. So that's their concern. That was the situation. So when I'm talking about Kim, the franchise consultants, they have been looking for a way to teach those franchise people how to network. And she went up and down and spent the money left, right, center, could just find anything. Up until the day where she came to our event. And we didn't even do, it was just literally 5 minutes on the basics of networking. And after that, then we expanded the activity into now, once I understood that, then I started teaching people how to network. As you can see, they're at one of our conferences. And the accent is on the application, because correctly applied knowledge is power. And then the pandemic hit. We went online. So now we're offering service just like we're doing now online. But it was good because literally from day zero, I was getting letters and communication of people who wanted to have the breakfast event, who wanted to have what was happening. The word went out. Australia, Miami, Los Angeles, England. But because we were doing in-person event, I couldn't service those people. In fact, I wanted to, but I did not have the bandwidth to do that. That's one thing. And let me confess, I was concerned that if I take attention from the local event, the community here might get upset and consider that they are being neglected. So that's really what the situation was with me. With the pandemic coming, now we moved online. So now we're servicing people worldwide. And here you can see, actually, I mentioned that's Kim, that's the franchise consulting lady. That's right, that's her right there. And after Kim talked to me, and then I remember all these people talking to me about writing a book on networking, I finally put together the book, and it will be coming out before the end of the year. I want to share with you 3 biggest challenges in networking. They are that people are easily unprepared and uncomfortable with networking. And the other issue is lack of proper follow-up and workable system. And number 3 is they're having challenges converting the connections into sales. So number 1, not being prepared. Number 2, being challenged to follow up. And number 3, having challenge converting the connections into sales. Let me share with you now 3 secrets to successful networking. That's where your pen and paper come in play. 1 is the cardinal rules of networking, also known as the prime rule of royalties, of which number 1 is be interested, and number 2, always put your personal interest last. And number 2 is what I evolved called the business development sequence, which goes networking, promotion, marketing, and sales. And secret number 3 is networking is a skill anyone can learn. We may or may not believe it, but driving is a skill anyone can learn. And let me tell you something else. This will make you happy, cheer you up. Driving a car is way more complex, way more dangerous than networking. I think that should cheer you up. Most of you drive a car, so therefore you can master networking. All you need is the correct know-how and get grooved in properly. But I believe if you breathe, we can teach you how to network. In fact, the only place I don't promote networking is in a cemetery. You get that? I don't go in the cemetery because obviously anywhere else networking belongs. The question I have for you is, are you taking full advantage of networking? The key word over here is full. I didn't just say a little bit. Are you taking full advantage of networking? If not, why not? It's much a rhetoric question because I know the answer. The reason you are not taking full advantage of networking is simply because you have never been presented with a complete body of workable know-how in networking. For the first time now you are, literally, because 40 years of experience have dropped in our lap. All we need to know about network. There is not one single question regarding networking that we have not answered to. Not one single one of them, not one. We have it all. I just finished a course now, networking. It was not even a complete course. Hey, it was just a summary, 5-week course. You should see them at the end. They're like, oh my God, oh my God. And as we go through the whole thing, oh my God. But these are people who have been networking for 30 years. But they're discovering what networking is. Because it was not out there. I mentioned people coming to me over a decade asking for a book. Let me remind you that those same people never came to me and say, or ask me for a book when it comes to driving a car. Why? Because they know how to network. They don't need me to tell them how to network. But if they kept coming over a decade asking for information networking, that means something was missing. But I did not conceive or thought that something was, I was the last one to think that they didn't have all the information. Allow me to go deeper. There is a reason why networking know-how was never codified or developed. Oh, by the way, all these books I was looking at were at best a collection of successful actions, or at worst, opinions. If they had the answers, they wouldn't be asking for a book on networking. They have the answer when it comes to driving a car. No one ever came to me since I'm in America and say, oh, Basil, you need to write a book on how to drive the car. They have the answers. They don't come to me about it. But there's a deeper reason. And this you may want to write down. And that is this. Man trains only when he sees danger as imminent. Let me give that to you again. Man, M-A-N, trains, T-R-A-I-N-S, only, O-N-L-Y, when, W-H-E-N, he, H-E, sees, S-E-E-S, danger, D-A-N-G-E-R, as, A-S, imminent, imminent is I-M-M-I-N-E-N-T. Man trains thoroughly, you can add thoroughly only when he sees danger as imminent. Allow me to give you a couple of examples. My uncle was a pilot. He is a pilot. I remember when we were a kid, he was getting trained to become a pilot. Of course, that was the pride of the family. And then we'll tell him, why don't you just take the jumbo jet and go up there? He said, oh, no, it doesn't work that way. I have to learn the theory first. I have to spend hours and hours with the instructors. If I do well, then I can become a co-pilot. And then maybe one day I can become a pilot. That was the road to become a pilot, to becoming a pilot. So man sees this guy taking 400 laps up there, and then he said, we better make sure he's trained. Foaming at the mouth, we better train him. Okay. Let's say you stand up one day, a 16 years old stand up, say, oh, I'm going to drive a car. Somebody's going to, something's going to stand between him and the car. It's called the state. The state is going to ask him, do you have a driver license? If you say no, they say, get out of here. They won't let you in the car. They have every system put in place that before you get into that car, you train, or they won't let you. In those two cases, danger is imminent. We wouldn't hand the car keys to a 16 years old and just say, go ahead and drive. Why? Because we might not see him again, him or her. That might very well be the last time we see them. However, when it comes to networking, you see a networking event you want to get in, the state does not come at the door and say, can we see your networking license? No, they're not there. The reason they're not there, it is because after you and I interact at a networking event, nobody dies. That's the only reason man has never developed a workable networking know-how. Right. The other side is that he has developed some wacko networking system and know-how that is blow your mind. I was telling the course last time they were delivering, I'm really annoyed by the networking courses that are out there. Not that I have something in anybody, but it's just so off the rails. I can't take it. So because no one died when you interact with somebody at a networking event, man never saw to it that a workable networking know-how was developed and put in use. We talk about 40 years. There have been years of research and testing and what have you. The funding of this work, it was done by myself. Literally, pretty much every penny I made went into the research. Literally. There would be some meeting of funding for business, funding, and then I'll go there running. They fund, I'll tell you what they fund. AI, IT, that's about it. You come there by the humanities, they don't have time for you. There's no money for it. So the work you're being presented has to be researched and funded by a single individual. That's what it took. But it doesn't matter what it took. The point is, we have it. And the next step is to take advantage of it and achieve the result you want. It's wrapped up. And as a result, we put together our system, which you can see there. Simple, but powerful. It covers it all. One, having the correct networking mindset. Two, defining and locating your ideal client. Three, how to approach and talk to those clients. Four, how to follow up. And five, how to close them. If you look at it, you will understand we're not just talking about networking. We cover the whole gamut. We answer the question, how do you get the clients you want? I didn't say connection, I say client, meaning somebody who's going to pay you. When the IRS says decade after decade, only 6% of the business make a seven-figure, only 6% of the business make it over 6 figures, it is because they don't have this know-how. If they did, we'll be way higher. And our goal, by the way, is to shatter the 6% and drive it well over 80%. Will it be done in my lifetime? I don't know, but it will be done. It has to be done. Let's break it down a little bit. The correct networking mindset. If you don't have the correct networking mindset, you'll be going through the motion. This is the liability of it. If you don't have the correct networking mindset, the people you're talking to will be very annoyed by you. You'll be annoying them. They'll see through it. You just quote unquote networking to networking, but the spirit is not there. Studying these materials is not just a nice to do, it is a must. On so many levels. I've been out there for years. In fact, let me tell you, Steve, when I got over here in Northern Virginia, as I mentioned, I wanted to build a business. I didn't know anybody. I have to meet people, otherwise that business was going to fail. I noticed that networking events were taking place on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So what I did is I took some jobs where I was working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So my Tuesday, Friday, and Thursday were wide open. Those days, I was going to each and every person. Mute, please. Mute everybody, please. So I was going to each and every networking event. In fact, I'll set up my day exactly where the networking event is. So I go to this one, the next one, the next one, the next one. That's what I was doing. And people were asking me, do you have a twin brother? Hello, do you have a twin brother? Because I was there. Hello. I was everywhere. And in so doing, I got so much practice in that I understand totally completely the in and out of networking when it comes to practicing it. That is how I could look up the definition, for example, of networking in the dictionary and tell you it is incorrect, because it is incorrect. I have even to formulate the correct definition for networking. If not, at least a workable definition people can use and achieve their goals. Malcolm Gladwell, the guys who wrote the books Outliers, he says to become an expert, that's his statement, to become an expert in some field, you got to spend at least 10,000 hours on it. If that's the true statement, then I've logged more than 10,000 hours, I can tell you, in networking. The correct mindset, first and foremost. If you don't have it, it's going to be rough for you. Once you don't have the correct networking mindset, then you go to a networking event, you come out of there, you're tired, you wiped out, because you're going into the motion, you're not in the spirit of it. And what is that mindset we're talking about? Well, here's the mindset of networking. Here's a picture of it. The person to the left there is serving himself. The one to the right is serving others. The correct networking mindset is the one to the right. The question I got all over for years is, what do I say? What do I say? When I meet somebody, what do I say? It is not about what do you say. It's about having the correct networking mindset. Because once you have it, what you say will come out naturally. And what you do will come out naturally. Not only that, nobody can teach you 1,000 sentences to use. It will just come across as can or unreal or fake. But once you grasp the correct networking mindset, you'll know what to do. And you will do the right thing each and every time. I'll give you another example of correct networking mindset. You are in the metro, the door's about to close, Somebody comes in running, and then the door closes out on them. So here is part of their body, and the other part is outside the train. And you are standing here inside the train. What do you do? I know what you do. You're going to go and help the person. But when you're going to help that person now, you are not thinking about the insurance, real estate, or I sell this, that, the other thing. All you're thinking about, you worry about that person. That's all you're doing. That is the correct networking mindset. When you walk into a networking room, you're not thinking about I sell insurance or I sell real estate. No, who they are, what do they do, how can I help them? That is the correct networking mindset. First step. It's not known. How do I know? I've been in the circuit for over 18 years. I can tell when it's being done right or wrong easily. Now, here an example of somebody who came to our class, who's in our program. In one of the coaching sessions I have with her, she started crying. Literally, and then I'm like, I don't understand why she's crying. But I let her cry, let her get it, let it out and what have you. And then when she stopped after 3 or 4 minutes, she told me, for the first time now, I can see that I can succeed in my business. She has been at her business for 20 years. And she came to a client acquisition mastermind program. And now she's crying because now she knows. I didn't tell her, she knows. It's not a matter of an idea. No, she knows she's going to succeed. And she's doing just that. Ideal client. Defining and locating the ideal client. This is not far from being stressed as much as it should be. If you want to sell a Ferrari, you don't go to Bronx. You go to Rodeo Drive in Hollywood because they can buy a Ferrari. If you don't understand that, you will starve. Savvy business people locate their ideal client, locate their niche. As they say, you become rich in a niche. And this is not just for small businesses. Lee Iacocca, the top entrepreneur in the United States, one of the very best ever, who drove Ford into the summit, drove Chrysler into the summit. When he was running Ford, he was preaching to the Ford company. Do not forget, we live off of the Lincolns and the trucks. They have a special division to produce the Lincoln, the trucks, while everybody is excited about the Mustang. The Mustang could not make Ford company survive. The niche of Ford was then the trucks and the Lincoln. Even they have the niche. If you don't define your niche, you may wind up spending 90% of your time with the wrong customers. And that's the reason why, one of the reasons why only 6% make it 6 figures. Naturally, you're spending most of your time talking to the wrong guy, you're not going to make the money. What you want is define your customers. So you're spending 90% plus of your time with the sum of your customer. What does that mean? That means the guy who's looking for you, want you, and have the money to pay for your service. That's your ideal client. Lord only knows how many business fail because they never define their ideal client. We help you to do just that. And once we've done that, we go further. We help you locate them online and offline. So you can then reach them. Defining your ideal client, locating them is one step. And then you need the next step, which is contacting those clients. The lady that I showed you who was crying, that I showed you was crying, in her prior business, she was told, go and talk to some people. Go and talk to some people. Great. They never conceive that there is a knowledge, or you need a knowledge in order to approach and talk to the ideal client. Having the ideal client is one step. How to approach and contact him is also a skill. It has its own know-how, which if you do not have it, can choke your business. We have talked about the elevator speech. Well, now that's another way to learn how to contact those clients, amongst other tools that will teach you. It's not enough for just to go and meet some people where you can say, well, go to the mall. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Is that the way to go? I don't know. Moreover, I don't even know that that's your ideal client at the mall. You don't know who is who. Once you have them, it takes an exact, precise know-how to approach them and talk to them successfully. And that also, I don't think, has been stressed enough. What am I supposed to tell them? Hey, my name is Basil. I do this, I do that. Is that how to do it? Or do I go about it otherwise? Or do I show interest in them? Or. So the poor business people are swimming into a total and complete confusion. Yes, sometimes they are told how to do, but that's not a precise and workable know-how either. It's a successful action or an opinion. So they are set again for failure. It's not because I say so, it's because the IRS report only 6% of the business making a six-figure. Is that enough to survive in this country? Six-figure? By all means, no. $100,000 is not the summit at all. Once you added all the expenses, you're not there yet. All business can easily deliver a product or service. The challenge is to get business in. And that's what this program is all about. You do what you do, we teach you how to get those customers. That's what this program is. And it has never existed anywhere. I teach this material, I can see the reaction of the people. Nobody ever came to our program and walked out and say, home. No. These materials are foundational. It's 40 years of work and research to put them together. You will not find them anywhere else. We brief you on them. At the highest level, we groove it in. So it stays in forever. Here is a mortgage executive who came to us and he said he have learned a technique that has been dreaming to learn his whole life. It's almost pathetic, almost bring tears to you. How is that this can be done to people? I don't understand. How is that this knowledge has never been developed? I honestly disagree. Here is somebody who like to learn, but nobody ever taught him how. That's pathetic. But there's a lot of programs out there. They happily take your money, leave you nothing. I've been there. Spend a lot of money and wind up with what? Jack nothing. Follow up. Oh, that. One of the biggest fat problem in business. We break it down. I got news for you. 97% of the business people say they have trouble to follow up. That statistic will never change until they come to our class and programs. It'll never change. I'm not saying that to sell the program. I just know. 97%? If 97% of the plane taking off or falling down, they'll stop all the planes right then and there. Congressional hearings, we got to find out why. Here, you have 97% of the businesses having trouble. Where is Congress having the committees and hearings and everything else? They're not there. The very branch of the United States, IRS, happily say, oh, only 6% make it 6 figures. I'm not interested in having only 6%. I'm interested in what you do about it to fix it. Don't just come and give me bad news. I want some solution. Yeah, there will be a problem. I'm interested in you telling me what you are going to do about it. Don't just publish year after year, 6%, 6%, 6%. It sounds like a broken CD. In the meantime, the government is taking people taxes money. To do what? If you take that money, you should solve the problems. No, they won't. You're going to take private interest, private individuals to go and fix the problem. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just mentioning the situation. Closing. In my class, I say it will be strange for you to come to a networking class and to now be taught closing. I understand that. Networking is our DNA. It is the entrance point. We use that to bring people in, but we take them all the way to closing. Because all the work they do, if they don't close, we wind up down the tube. So it's a point of responsibility in our program to teach people how to close. And as been said, and rightly so, until something is sold, nothing is about to happen. We just don't want to teach somebody networking so they can be social and what have you. That's great, fine. But for the business to survive, they need to make the money. That's why we are addressing the point of close. For once. Secondly, we want it to be a whole harmonized program from the first contact to the last. I'm sure all of you have been in a situation where you talk to somebody, it's just going fine and moving, but when it's come to closing, they like disconnected or disjointed or something does not work. We put it together so it's all one, and then it goes from beginning really to end, smoothly, effortlessly. A business has to make money. We help them make money so they can survive. That's the two reasons why close is part and parcel of our program. And there again, we go deep, not the superficial, this, that. We go deep. We teach them the true techniques that 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, everything on this program has been tested and is workable. None of here is some ideas. Sometimes somebody sees a program. I see some materials, I won't name, I saw someone on TV talking about something, then say, go and read this, go and read this. What is your job? Your job is to put it together and give it to me so I can apply it, not to send me read research and this, that, the other thing. It's unbelievable. What do I pay you for? Now, you may not get there, but I expect you to get there. Put together a workable know-how so I can take and use, not send me read research about so and so and so. It's silly, if you ask me. Everything we teach has been tested. Everything we teach works 100% of the time. I didn't say 99.999999. No, I said 100% of the time. That's what the research and discovery was all about. To come out with a workable know-how. Why? I don't want to teach anything to somebody. They go out there and fail. When we send a student out with a piece of knowledge that we're teaching, if they go and it does not work, when they come back, we don't ask them, oh, what? No. The only question we ask them, what did you do? Because that is the only variable, and that's what we teach them. What we teach you works 100% of the time. If it doesn't work, it is because you did not apply it correctly. Remember the slide back? Power is workable know-how correctly applied. That's the definition of power, not information or knowledge. No, no, no. You can give somebody the knowledge, they misapply it, and they won't get the result. We insist on correct application because that guarantees success. Behind us, the era of maybe, no, we don't do the maybe anymore. Certainty is what it's all about. Certainty, no more maybe. None of our material are maybe or work 99% of the time. Because if you have 99% of the time, you still have this 1% where the student can go out and fail. That's not right either. If you have your technology at 99%, 99%, then develop it, drive it to 100% of the time. It's as simple as that. And I can tell you, it's not even a concept in our culture. We talk about technology. You see how we're fumbling all day long today because this, that, the other thing. Even the technology is not even that reliable and perfect in so many sense. Now, granted, there will be a human mistake. But very few technology out there works 100% of the time. Very few, whatever field they may be. I believe if you're teaching somebody, or again, the definition of education is putting in somebody's hand materials they can use and get the result. That is the definition of education. Giving people materials they can use and get the result. Not giving them materials they use and they blow up in their face. Perhaps a new way to go about things, but makes sense. Here is a success story from a lady who started our program. She was shy and everything else. Today, she's no longer shy, I can tell you that. She's a whole different human being. And in a few months, she increased her production by 300%. Totally, completely different person. The benefit actually of the program are business-wise, but also very much individual. I mean, I see those being the change, there's something else. You will not recognize those people from where they started the program to where they are today. It's day and night. There's this thing that run in the culture, introvert, where those people, quote unquote, were introvert, and after the program, in the program, they're no longer introvert. So it's just a label, or they don't have the right way to assist them, as far as I'm concerned. Our program, 12-month program, is client acquisition mastery is over a period of 12 months. If you want a summit, you come into the program, we work with you, we take a look at where you're at and what you did, we sort it out, and we get you on the track where now we're providing you with materials that work 100% of the time. I didn't say 99.9, 100% of the time. And at the end, you become competent and capable in your business. And you dramatically enhance your personality as a side benefit. We're not going to change your individual. That's not what we're going for. We're going to help you achieve your goals. You have a total, complete, utter certainty about it. Now you have to do your part, naturally. But when it comes to our support, when it comes to our materials, there's absolutely no question about it. Some of you have worked with us that on the line. You know, you can tell how we operate. We are totally, completely dedicated to your success. We're not just saying it because it's a nice line. People say, we dedicate to your success. How many times I hear that, or I walk into a business, I hear that, and then when I go over there, I need something, they're not there. They tell me they're going to send me something, they never send it, or whatever. I'm going to give you the different parts of our program right now. I'm going to break them down for you. When you join the program, I'm going to tell you what you're seeing there is what will cost individually. If you were to get it somewhere else. When you join the program, you get what we call a customized roadmap. Each individual is different. So we lay out the roadmap for you. That is tailor-made to you. And that session is due to take place on July the 6th, 2 weeks from now at 3 p.m. That's where we round up all the students and help them lay out their customized roadmap because each individual is different. We just had this one now. This is a conference we host where we address specifically the lead generations, because it starts with the leads. We teach you how to get your leads. At the last seminar, we have a lady who came and did a seminar on LinkedIn. Most people sign up for LinkedIn, and it's kind of like, I sign up on LinkedIn, now what? She broke it down. How do you go about finding the exact ideal customers? Where to find them using LinkedIn? There's no price for that. In fact, she did a seminar, and 48 hours later, we met another guy at my class, and the guy was saying, oh, I have 4, 5, or 6 appointments. Never had them the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years. All of a sudden, that seminar, the person had 4, 5, 6 appointments using the information that we provided to him at this conference. So in the conference, we have 3 different bootcamp or retreats. One of them is about lead generations. The second one is about following up. And the third one is about closing. At each one of those, we do a deep dive into those specific areas. This is the first. The second one I mentioned is called the Follow-Up Mastery Program. They take place every 4 months. We have the lead generations. 4 months for now, we're going to have the Follow-Up Mastery, and then 4 months after that, we're going to have the closing. So you see there the closing one that I mentioned. We get into the personal one-on-one. Each person is different. They may have different challenges. Some of the issue can be taken in a group setting. Some others have to be more individuals, more a deep dive on the specific individual. So that's what this section is all about. And we have, as part of the program, 24 implementation group calls. On average, 2 a month, where we bring all the students together on a group call. They get briefings, they get the Q&A, and we address any specific issues they have. This is valuable because it's much like a kind of like mastermind in itself. You get to learn from other people's experience too. Somebody may be dealing with an issue here, you learn something from it, but another one over here learns something from it. So it is kind of like, it is, I don't know, several experiences in one. And it's very valuable. Twice, also we have a weekly call where you can call. Sometimes You may be dealing with a situation, a client or whatever. So you don't have to wait necessarily for the week. For the 2 weeks call that I mentioned prior, you can call and get the assistance you need. I mentioned we have been in business for 17 years, so we have a vast library of materials, interview with successful business people, tapes, chart, and everything else, you name it. All those are available to you. We have over 150 successful interviews with successful entrepreneurs that are all made available for you and everything else. Virtually everything we ever produce in our organization is in the library and you have access to it. The best architect, the best pen, the best of everything were made through internship or understudy. We're bringing that back. What that means is, as part of this program, we'll go to specific networking event with you and be there with you and help you. In a way, shadowing with you, finding out what you're doing, or be just around. So if you have a question, you come to us, come to me, and I help you with that. That's how the best architects were made. They were all made understood by understanding, learning under somebody else. The best pen. Oh, by the way, most of the most successful people you know have a coach. Serena Williams, Federer. I talk about Lee Iacocca. All these big names you see have one thing in common. Virtually, all of them. I did not check for every person. That's what I'm saying virtually. Each and every one of them has a coach. A coach gets you where you cannot go by yourself. You know what you know. You're making the most of it. But there's higher levels. At which point in time, you need somebody to help you get there. That's what this program is all about. Getting you where you have never been. Getting you where it will be extremely challenging for you by yourself to get to. Say nothing of the fact that the networking know-how never even existed on the planet. And I know it didn't even exist in the entire universe. I dare say that because I developed it. And I knew what it takes. When I'm talking about Africa, Europe, and United States, I went to places where very few people have gone. And took that knowledge to put together the subject of networking and the rest of it. For somebody to do it, they have to walk exactly precisely where I walked. No one ever developed it because you have to go through that road to be able to understand it and sort it out. You have to understand it. You have to apply it as I did, go into networking event and be able to break it down using the knowledge and what you are experimenting like in a lab. And that's what this knowledge is. It's not about propaganda by myself. That's beside the point. All I want is you to succeed. But I'm just telling you where the knowledge comes from, what it took to put it together. We have a Facebook website, which is good also because it allows you then to interact with other students. You can do a survey, you can do that. Now you are in constant communication with like-minded people. That's very good because you can do that each and every day. You have a question, you can ask it, you can interact with other people, you can practice, you can train, you can twin and do exercise together. It gives you that community that you need to support you. And you support this as well by contributing to it. Also, we have weekly accountability where the members of the group can get together and then check up on each other. Where do you stand? Do you need help with that? The other thing. Again, the continuation of the group and team activity. The total value of this program you just seen here is, why is that my slide is that off? Can you guys see the whole figure or not? I don't see what. It's $48,000 and some. And by signing up today, we add to that 1 year of attendance fee at the networking breakfast event, a special report on the 5 secrets to successful networking, 1 immediate hour of private coaching for yourself. So we total that, we're now sitting at $52,590. But I have good news. It won't cost you $52,590. It costs you only $10,000 for a period of 12 months. Now that is for the group coaching. On top of that, you may ask for one-on-one, which when I work with you then one-on-one, we add another 24 sessions for you personally. For that one-on-one, then the program becomes $18,000. Now you say we're $10,000, or you may or may not say $10,000, $18,000. We'll tell you what. Smart business people do not necessarily ask. No, I'm not saying that you're not smart or not. That's not the point. I'm just saying smart business people do not ask how much it's going to cost me. They ask how much this is going to make me. I know a friend of mine right here in Fairfax. He joined an organization, and the membership for that organization for his company was $18,000. If somebody came to you and said, well, we got to spend $80,000, oh my God, I can't afford that money. That's understandable. He joined and paid $18,000. At the end of the year, he made $500,000. Was it a smart decision? Absolutely. We discussed today where you are and where you want to be. This is a program that can help you get where you want to go. Could it be challenging? Possibly. But I can tell you this. Maybe you have it sitting there, maybe you don't. That's beside the point. All the successful entrepreneurs will tell you that they have to spend the money they didn't have. They have to come up with the money they needed in order to make it happen. There is a price to pay for success or for failure. You invest in a program, it gets you somewhere. You don't invest, it may not get you anywhere. Just like Jeff Bezos was saying this morning, when you're 90 years old, you look back and then ask yourself, should I have done it or not? Again, I'm not telling you to try to close you. I don't need to close you. The material is there. It does what it does. I don't think that I'm here to close you. I'm here to share the information with you. As the title of the program is an exclusive invitation. An old woman reached the age of 100 years. The whole town is celebrating, the whole village is celebrating her. And a reporter comes and asks her, looking back, what would you have done differently? She thought about it and said, I would have taken more risk. Again, I'm not telling that you made different. I don't know your finances, what have you, but I'm telling you, you are being presented with a fine opportunity to take your business into a whole new level. Make no mistake, there's no other program outside like this one, none. This is not a sales pitch. I'm not trying to get you money. I want to get you where you want to go. You can take this program, or you can go back and spend the 30 to 40 years of work and experience to be able to gather this knowledge. You know your goal. You can achieve them. Investing in this program in 2 years will get you very much close, if not way beyond what you want to achieve. Very well. Any question at all? We are open now for Q&A. Let me see. Oh, man, so give me a question. I got to explain. Sorry, I got to explain to you what I get on the program. The way you get on the program, by the way, you don't just walk into the program. I'm glad. Can you put the slide? Well, actually, no, that's fine, because they're going to have to talk to Catherine, to Catherine first. The way you get on the program, you talk to the coach already. She has a discussion with you. She'll be scheduling another meeting with you. I think people generally, you have another meeting with her where you get to talk to her. And once she's there to find out if the program is a fit for you, I'm giving a general briefing over here. She gives a more personal presentation. And if it's a fit for you, she'll let you know that, yes, this is a fit for you. At which point in time, you go and make a payment of $1, only $1. Why? Because I want to interview you and get the sense of where you are so I can see if we can then work together, if I can help you. If I cannot, I tell you, sorry, I don't think I can help you. And if that's the case, we get you into the program and we finalize your financial arrangement. Because fit before fee. You have to fit on the program, because the program is not just the mechanical, but it's also the mindset of the person. I don't want somebody to come into the program, they're thinking that way, they want to go that way, and then we cannot service them, cannot get the result. We have to have that conversation and stay eye to eye and work together. Remember, this is something that's going to go for 12 months. So I need to see that there is a fit between us before we start that journey. If there is no fit, there's no fit. Then you can try something else. Or I can tell you what you need to do. By the way, this is what I always do. If there's no, I tell you why. So you can then do what you need to do so that it can become a yes. We don't just say people no. If there is a no fit, I tell them why. And I tell them, but if you can do this thing, then we can get into the program. Very well. Open for question now. Don't be shy. Feel free to ask questions. No question at all. You are all ready to answer all your questions. So you're all ready to sign up. Is that what I'm hearing? Very good. Let's do this.
Bazil,
huh?
Bazil, we're just all too scared to say anything to you.
I didn't know I was that frightening.
Yes, you have it shaking in our boots.
So again, any question at all? I swear I don't bite. By the way, I'm too far distant to bite anyway.
Especially to me.
Covered it all in the program. Yes, we need to do the one-on-one.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. So then, if they're hearing no question, Mona, have a question?
So I just wanted to say, it really sounds like a wonderful program. You certainly crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot to digest this year. And so it's wonderful. And so thank you for sharing. And there's a lot to think about. It does seem like a great journey.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. Thank you, Mona. I like it very much because seeing the result we're getting, I'm talking about Valerie, who at the beginning was so frightened and shaken, not confident at all. She went to the meeting for a group, and then they say, well, we need people to do the presentation. She jumped up on the chair. She said, I'm going to be number one. Everybody was like, what? Is that her? Somebody used to be so shy. Now she's like out there. In fact, shortly after she started the program, she caught a video to ask her to make a video because I wanted to get some feedback. She caught a video. She told me before the program, she would never have done such a thing. Never before this program would have gone on camera and shot a video. And she did that by herself and sending the video. So I say it again, there are the intangible, not on business, but the changes that take place with people being on the program. It's a personal improvement program as well as a business program. But understand it makes sense when you come to think about it, because the knowledge of the business is one thing, but you need the confidence to execute what you have in your plan. And it really, really makes sense, because it's not just, oh, yeah. You can have it, but the person got to be there, because you're dealing with people, they have objection, they have this, but that. You have to be there and present at the beginning to handle it. And that part, I was not even thinking of it, because I'm thinking about I teach them that. But with Valerie, I got to understand that it was coming as another side benefit of being into the program. Which is very, when you see that, it is very exciting and tremendously rewarding. I mean, Valerie is a totally, completely different human being these days. I mean, she comes on the call, she's the first one, she's there and waiting. My goodness, she get on the call before I get on the call.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I get on my computer, get on the call. You see Valerie also joined the call. I'm like, whoa, it's no time yet. But it is great, it's exciting. And what excites me is we're bringing new information that have never seen the light. Think about it. Let's go mathematical. Only 6% of the business making a six figure. It is not a good figure, but nobody ever addressed it. You get somebody on the call, they start crying. I'm like, did I do anything wrong? No. Why, ma'am? Why are you crying? So finally, I know that I can succeed. Oh wow. Any other question, comment, suggestion, feedback? Very good. So we're going to take a 15-minute break. We have a very short session after that for you on Zoom and networking online. I have a special video I want to show you and go over how to network online. I've been doing a lot of or as I always do before the conference, I do a deep dive on networking so I can come up with what you can use in order to successfully network. And that's what I want to do after the break. All right. Excellent. 15 minutes. So let's make over here at 6:05 Eastern time. Very good. See you in a bit.
Business.